Welcome to Reach for the Top, the game in which some of the area's brightest students have an opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge. 24 teams originally entered into our preliminary elimination, and 8 teams have made it to the provincial finals. Now, let's meet today's contestants.
Representing the Toronto East area and Woburn Collegiate from Scarborough, we have Trevor Knight, Peter Shirk, Jason Malinowski, David Riddell, and their teacher coaches, Ms. Mary Doucette and Mr. Larry Rice. Representing the Central Ontario area and Waterloo-Oxford District Secondary School in Baden, we have Craig Weichel, Jason Cahill, Matthew Becker, Wade McElwain, and their teacher coaches, Mrs. Nancy Silcox and Phil Werstein, who can't be here today. Hi, and welcome to the provincial finals. Nice to have you aboard, panel. Good to have you aboard, too. Let's try some quick questions to make sure you guys are keen and ready to go. Circassia is a region belonging to what country? Circassia, Matthew.
Italy? No.
Woburn, Peter.
France?
Soviet Union. What is the purpose of cubing a steak? David?
Cutting up into small pieces. No.
What's the purpose of that, though? Wade?
So it can be marinated and cooked easier?
No.
To make it more tender. What's the title of the new British Columbia sitcom about the garment industry? Trevor.
Designing Women? No.
No. Baden Bunch.
Material World?
Correct.
University of Alberta researchers have concluded that members of the Franklin expedition to the Arctic were poisoned by what? Trevor.
Lead? Correct.
From the cans of tinned food. It's a kitchen utensil, and also it's the name of an instrument your doctor uses it as a tongue depressor. What do you call this thing, David?
Spatula. Correct.
That's the truth. Okay. It's a spatula, kitchen utensil, and a tongue depressor. Which do you use first?
Gee, I'd, the tongue depressor, I think, first.
Okay. Steve Officer, our judge, man with the answers. Well, the trophy's what it's all about. We're getting ever closer. The end of this game will decide who gets that.
It's on the line in this game, and I expect it's going to be an excellent one because both of these teams in advancing to the final have played just some outstanding games.
Fasten your seatbelts. We'll be right back. Okay, let's get busy here. Folklore is the topic panel. In English folklore, who's the villain against whom Robin Hood? Craig?
Evil King John?
No.
David?
Sheriff Nottingham.
Or Prince John. Finish this couplet about the weather. Red sky at night, shepherds... David?
Delight, red sky morning, shepherd's warning.
No.
Matthew?
Red sky at night, sailor's warning.
No.
Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. In Dutch folklore, who is the right-hand man of Santa Claus? David?
Black Pete.
Correct.
Art. Take a look at the monitor for a clue here, panel. This is a well-known work by artist Georges Seurat. What's the popular name for his... Peter?
Carnival?
No.
What's the popular name for his painting style? Baden? Wade?
Pointillism?
Correct.
The Circus is the title of the painting. Iran is the topic now. What was the name of the Shah of Iran who was... David?
Khomeini?
No.
Who was overthrown in 1979. The Shah. Craig?
Farouk.
No.
Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. What northern Iranian ethnic group has formed much? Trevor?
Kurds? Correct.
What's the principal language spoken in Iran? Craig?
Arabic?
No.
Persian?
Woburn? Trevor?
Persian? Correct.
Or Farsi? Here's a 5-point scramble. Who's generally considered to be the father of psychoanalysis? Craig?
Sigmund Freud.
Correct.
Okay, Freud is the topic here, and they're yours, Baden. What was the name of Freud's 1900 book, which became one of the most influential books of the 20th century? Title of the book? Wade?
The Interpretation of Dreams?
Correct.
Freud left Austria when the Nazis invaded the country because he feared for his work and for himself. Why was he afraid for his personal safety? Craig?
Because he was Jewish.
Correct.
3 essentials of Freudian theory are the id, the ego, and the superego. Of the 3, which term describes the heartland of primitive drives which demand gratification? Craig?
Id.
Correct.
All right.
We have 6 now.
Almost tied up. Woburn 60, Baden 55. Geography. In what city is the Cathedral of Hagia Sophia? Craig?
Istanbul.
Correct.
In what country is the city of Khartoum? Craig?
Sudan.
Correct.
What 2 countries occupy the Iberian Peninsula? Craig?
Spain and Portugal.
What's the only country other than the Soviet Union whose borders span both Europe Matthew.
Turkey. Correct.
Music. We'll now play the music of some popular groups, and we want you to identify the group singing each piece. Here's number 1. Craig.
Miami Sound Machine.
Correct.
Conga. Number 2. Wade.
Katrina and the Waves.
No.
Wandy. David.
Correct.
Wandy. Eddie Harry. Number 3. Jason.
Human League.
Correct. Right. You're only human. And number 4. Wade.
Time.
All right, Jason.
Frozen Ghost.
No.
Crowded House. Don't dream it's over. People. Which German physicist discovered the law describing the flow... Craig?
Max Planck.
No.
Describing the flow of electric current through a conductor. Woburn. Jason.
Ohm.
Correct.
Which American physicist launched his... David?
Millikan.
No.
Launched his revolutionary rocket in 1926 on liquid fuels. The power, Craig.
Robert Goddard.
Correct.
Which Irish-born physicist and chemist formulated a law governing the... David?
Boyle.
Correct.
Sport and film. Who played Lou Gehrig in the movie Pride of the Yankees? Jason.
Brando.
No.
Baden. Wade.
Robert Redford.
No.
Gary Cooper. Who played Jimmy Pearsall in Fear Strikes Out? Anthony Perkins. Who played boxer Rocky Graziano in... Craig.
Sylvester Stallone.
Somebody up there likes me. Woburn. Jason.
LaMotta.
Paul
No.
Newman. Literature. Ali Baba gains access to the treasure in the cave. Craig.
He says, Open Sesame.
Correct.
Who was the king whom Macbeth slew in Shakespeare's David?
Duncan.
Correct.
What do these writers have in common? George Browering, B.P. Nichol, Leonard Cohen, Gwendolyn McEwen, Craig,
Canadian.
No.
Michael Ondaatje. What do they have in common? Woburn. David.
All right songs.
No.
No, they all write poems. They're poets. Geography. I'll give you the name of a region. You tell me in what country we find this region. Durango. Craig.
Australia.
No.
The country. Durango. Peter.
Spain.
Mexico. Tipperary. Craig.
Ireland.
Correct.
Pampa. Craig.
Argentina.
Correct.
With what branch of mathematics would I associate the concept abelian groups? Abelian groups. Matthew.
Statistics.
No.
Woburn. Jason.
Number theory.
No.
Algebra. What absolute temperature scale is based on... David?
Kelvin.
No.
On Fahrenheit degrees.
Time.
Rankin. What country is sometimes called the roof of the world? Craig.
Time.
David.
Tibet.
Correct.
Which term describes the layer of the earth between the core and the crust? Jason.
Mantle.
Correct.
Au contraire is a French. Craig.
Contrary.
Correct.
That's the truth. Okay. We have some very interesting people we'd like you to meet, and some assigned questions coming up after 2 important announcements.
From Memorial High School in Sydney Mines, Cape Breton. We're from Nova Scotia, and we're representing them to play teams from all over Canada in the national finals of Reach for the Top. We'd like to thank all the people who brought us together to play this great game, and we expect to have a great time. And now back to our ever-so-funny quizmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. That's starting next week. So we hope you'll be around for that. One-on-one now, the assigned questions. Trevor, Craig, you're up against one another. We'd like you to name the authors of the following science fiction or fantasy classics. Childhood's End. Craig.
Arthur C. Clarke.
Day of the Triffids. Craig.
Isaac Asimov.
No.
Day of the Triffids. Trevor.
Robert Heinlein.
No.
John Wyndham. Peter. Jason. Cat's Cradle. Jason.
Asimov.
No.
Peter.
Heinlein.
No.
Kurt Vonnegut. The Einstein Intersection. Peter.
Piers Anthony.
No.
Jason, any idea?
Smith.
No.
Samuel Delaney. Jason. Matthew. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Matthew.
Clark.
No.
Jason.
Jules Verne.
Correct.
Dragon Rider. Who wrote that? Anne McCaffrey. David. Wade. Lest Darkness Fall. Wade.
Asimov.
No.
David.
Heinlein.
No.
El Sarag de Camp. The Left Hand of Darkness.
Asimov.
No.
David.
I'll try Heinlein.
No.
Here's a name for you. Ursula K. Le Guin. History. We would like you to identify the following explorers. Which French explorer made the first complete voyage down? Craig.
Samuel de Champlain.
No.
Down the Mississippi to its mouth. Trevor.
LaSalle.
Correct.
Which Spanish explorer was the first European to see the Pacific? Craig.
Balboa.
Correct.
Which Norwegian explorer was the first? Craig.
Roald Amundsen.
No.
To cross Greenland from east to west, the first explorer to try to reach the North Pole by drifting with the ice. They called him Shivers.
Time.
Okay, Fridtjof Nansen was the man's name. 5-point scramble. The Fabian Society was a 19th century, Peter,
Literary Society.
No.
19th century English group generally adhering to what political ideology? Baden. Craig.
Liberal.
No.
A little further on than that, socialism. So the
Open.
questions deal with socialism. Anyone can answer. What name was given to early dedicated socialists like Robert Craig?
Reds.
No.
Like Robert Owen, who often attempted to set up communities along socialist lines. Woburn. Trevor.
Communists?
No.
Utopian socialists. The influence of socialism in Britain was an important reason for the creation of which political party? Craig.
The Labour Party.
Correct.
Which of the following would be least accurately described as a socialist? Louis Blanc, Karl Marx, David Ricardo. Matthew.
Karl Marx.
No.
Least?
Can we have the question answered? You're allowed to.
Which of the following would be least accurately described as a socialist? Louis Blanc, Karl Marx, or David Ricardo? Jason.
David Ricardo.
Yes.
That's the one. Current events. The pollution of our environment is a very pressing concern. Let's see how familiar you are with some of the major contaminants found in drinking water. The toxic metal used in industry that... Matthew?
Lead.
No.
That contaminates fish, rendering fish unfit for human consumption. Jason.
Mercury.
Correct.
Furans, a group of toxic chlorinated organic compounds, are suspected of being carcinogenic. One use is by the pulp and paper industry. For what purpose? Craig.
Bleaching of paper.
Correct.
PCBs, once in widespread use as coolants and lubricants, can cause multiple physical disorders. What's the proper term, Craig?
Polychlorinated biphenyls.
Correct.
On to mathematics. Got Baden at 215, Woburn 160. Volumes of shapes. What is the formula for the volume of a sphere? David.
4/3 pi r cubed.
No.
Baden. Volume of a sphere. Formula.
2/3 pi r cubed.
No.
4 divided by 3 times pi times the radius squared. What?
Should be cube. Okay.
Okay.
Check it.
We'll check it. What's the volume of a triangular? David.
1/3 base times height.
No.
Volume of a triangular prism with a base of 5 centimeters, height of 10 centimeters, length of 25 centimeters. Matthew.
300.
No.
Woburn.
They've already had
Okay.
a chance.
625 cubic centimeters. A large cube contains a smaller 8 cubic centimeter ball. If the remaining space in the larger cube is 19 cubic centimeters, what are the dimensions? David.
3 by 3 by 3.
Correct.
Got it. Here's a who am I question. For 40 points, I was born in Compton, Quebec, of a French-speaking father and an English-speaking mother. Craig.
Pierre Trudeau.
No.
I was fluently bilingual from childhood. For 40 points. Who am I? Woburn.
Laurier.
No.
As a political leader, I was one of the Western figures to advocate the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. For 30 points, Jason.
Saint Laurent.
Louis Saint Laurent, 30 points for Woburn. Got 15 points separating the teams. Art. Watch the monitors. Answer the following questions on Renaissance painting. Here's number 1. Peter.
Michelangelo?
No.
Tintoretto painted this picture of Ariadne resting with what god of wine? Baden. Matthew.
Dionysus.
No.
Bacchus. Let's have a look at number 2. What Venetian painter David.
Richard III.
No.
What Venetian painter executed this portrait? Baden. Wade.
Michelangelo.
No.
Titian, portrait of a man in a red cap. Number 3. Michelangelo painted this. Peter.
God creating Adam.
Correct.
Right. Business and industry. Who is credited with the invention of the assembly line? Craig?
Henry Ford.
Correct.
What does OPEC stand for? Wade?
Oil producing economic. No.
No.
Trevor?
Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries.
Correct.
That's the truth. 220, Woburn. 225, Baden. Which American car manufacturers comprise the big three? Craig?
Chrysler, General Motors, and Ford.
Correct.
Identify all 4 provinces in the Canadian Confederation of July 1st. Craig?
New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Quebec, and Ontario.
Correct.
1867. Sports. Identify the following NHL individual award winners for 1989. Who won the Hart Trophy? Craig?
Mary Lemieux.
No.
Most valuable player, Woburn. David?
Gretzky.
Correct.
Who won the Norris Trophy for
Al McInnes.
No.
the best defenseman? Jason?
Ray Bork.
No.
Chris Chelios, Montreal. Who won the Calder Trophy? Craig?
Time.
Modano.
This is for you, Woburn. Best rookie. Calder Trophy, best rookie. Last year, Trevor.
Tony Granato.
No.
Brian Leach, New York Rangers. Who won the Lady Byng? Craig?
Wayne Gretzky.
No.
Time up. Okay, Woburn. Who won the Lady Byng Trophy? Jason?
Carbonell.
No.
Joe Mullen, Calgary. Word puzzles. We're going to add a letter here. What letter must be added to the beginning of a word meaning the extremity of anything to create a second word meaning to cause to go? Peter?
Time.
S.
Time.
Matthew?
S.
Correct.
S. You add S to end, and you get send. What letter must be added to the beginning of a word meaning to indicate inclusion within space or a place? And please be quiet in the audience. To create a second word meaning an alcoholic liquor made by, Jason?
Gin.
Letter.
G.
Yes.
G to in. Get gin. What letter must be added to the beginning of a word meaning to fold over or about something? To create a second word meaning to swing or cause to swing loosely with noise? Matthew?
T.
No.
Peter?
S.
No.
F. F to lap. You get flap. Food. A versatile creamy cheese, chèvre, is made from the milk of what animal? Jason?
Goat.
Correct.
Sourdough bread has an historic association with,
San
David?
Francisco.
No.
With what profession in Alaska, northwestern Canada? Baden? Craig?
Mining.
Yes. Yes.
Prospecting. They made the sourdough bread in their camps. Falafel has become a popular fast food item on this side of the world. Middle Eastern in origin, these spicy patties are usually made with ground... David?
Chickpeas.
Correct.
Right. What are the last names of the 1988 Olympic rival skaters named Brian? Craig?
Boitano and Arcer.
Correct.
Roger and Me is a highly successful... David?
GM.
No.
Highly successful film depicting the devastating effect of the loss of 35,000 jobs at the General Motors plant in which city in Michigan? Matthew?
Flint.
Correct.
Who is the first president of the International Center for Human Rights and Democratic Development? The first president, Craig?
Jimmy Carter.
No.
New? Woburn, Jason?
Ed Broadman.
Correct.
What style of architecture is noted for its heavy pillars and semicircular... Craig?
Gothic.
No.
Heavy pillars, semicircular arches. Woburn? Jason?
Byzantine.
No.
Norman? Friesland is a province of... Craig?
Denmark.
No.
Friesland, province of... Woburn, Trevor?
Norway.
No.
Holland. Canadian entertainers. Which Hamilton... No time
Snappers.
for Canadian entertainers. Which country panel was expelled by the Cominform in June 48? Craig.
Yugoslavia.
Correct.
With which family terrorized the villagers of Lucan, Ontario in the 19th century? Peter.
The Black Donnellys.
Correct.
Doctor Who was one of the Time Lords. Craig.
Britain.
No.
Of what planet?
Time.
The planet Gallifrey. Who released an album titled The River, 1980? Wade.
The band.
No.
The River, 1980. Peter.
Bruce Springsteen.
Correct.
Beethoven's Symphony No. 9 in D minor is often referred to by Matthew.
As the Pastoral.
No.
By what other name? Woburn.
World
Yeah.
Anthem.
No.
The Choral Symphony. Which country controlled Egypt in 19... Craig?
Britain.
Correct.
What strait separates Kodiak Island and mainland Alaska? Craig?
Bering Strait.
No.
Woburn. Trevor?
Juno Strait.
No.
Shelikof Strait. What is the name given to the deposit built when a swift stream flows into... Jason?
deposit.
No.
When a swift stream flows into a lake? Craig.
Estuary?
No.
Delta. Name the Iroquois chief who allowed Cartier to take. Craig.
Oh, Donnacona?
Correct.
Specifically, what second trade did medieval barbers pursue? David.
Dentistry?
No.
Baden. Wade.
Murder?
No.
Surgery. What direction on the loonie coin does the loon face? Craig.
Facing west?
No.
What direction?
Right?
Correct.
What term other than flock describes a group of sheep? Craig.
Herd?
No.
Woburn.
Time.
Grove. The largest concrete dam in the Grand Coulee. Craig.
Hoover Dam?
No.
On what western river? Woburn. Jason.
Columbia.
Correct.
Aside from the Great Pyramids, which of the 7 wonders of the world was built in Egypt? Craig.
Alexandria Lighthouse?
Correct.
What is the shortened term for the astronomical characteristic quasi-stellar?
Quasar.
Correct.
What are the 2 major British political parties? Craig.
Conservative and Labor.
Correct.
Which American writer is best known for the novel?
Time.
Whoa! Oh, my goodness.
That's
We'll
cute.
check
Is
the score. I'll
correct.
be right back.
Close game. Well, Woburn gets 10 points for the volume of a sphere. They were correct, but nevertheless, the score is 330 for Woburn and 335 for Waterloo-Oxford, our new provincial champions.
Congratulations to the Baden bunch. Their champion, Reach for the Top's executive producer, Sandy Stewart, will present the provincial trophy to Waterloo-Oxford District Secondary School. Congratulations to both teams. Join us next time for the Nationals here on Reach for the Top.
Life Stories is an innovative new series that shows the emotional and medical impact on seriously ill patients. Life Stories premieres tomorrow night at 9 on Channel 11. The Movies 11 is next.